you learned you had testicular cancer, how did you find out and what was your reaction?
Well, I had abdominal pain and I couldn't stand up. And when finally I was 50 cities into a 60-city American tour, and I was like, I can't stand it, it hurts. So I thought I worked myself into an ulcer. I go into the emergency room in Peoria. The doctor puts me through a battery of tests, and then he says, you had breakfast, let me do the test again. So I did the test again. And he came back and he said, we found a mass. And I burst out laughing. And he goes, what's so funny? I go, well, nobody's ever used the word mass in description of me before. It's like, and he goes, no, this is either benign, malignant, or something else. And then it was, I'm being diagnosed with cancer. And the fear is unbelievable. And then I woke up. It was like I did the show that night because I had to. And I realized throughout the show, there was one part I remember like it was yesterday where I'm doing this bleeding heart ballad, I who have nothing. And it was just, I'd never done anything like that before. It was really an emotional thing like that. I was always doing comedy. And I did this really deep ballad, and I'm about to get ready to go into triple Lutz, And I'm really starting to get into the character of this. This is my last show, and I'll never skate again. I'm going to die, and all these things. And I look into the front row, and there's this woman sitting in the front row, a really pretty lady in the front row. And I'm skating over there, and she's sort of doing her hair and makeup. And I'm like, I burst out laughing. I was like, okay, this is however I want to do it, because the world's going to keep on being the world. I got to get to work, and let's get busy. And so I called my manager, Bob Kane, who's one of the best friends I've ever had in my life, and
Former head of IMG.
Former head of IMG. He's like the greatest. He's the smartest, greatest guy. He's my crisis manager. So I called him up and I said, Bob, are you sitting down? He said, yeah. And I go, no, you're not. You answer the phone in the kitchen. And you need to sit down. I need to tell you something. He goes, okay. So pause. Okay, well, I'm sitting down. What's up? And I go, I have cancer. And it was like, there's a silence on the other end of the phone where I knew I kicked him in the stomach. I just knew it. And he just said, where are you now? I said, well, I'm headed to the show. And he goes, all right, get on your bus tonight after the show and come to Cleveland. I'll take care of everything. So I went to the Cleveland Clinic, and Bob banging on my door about 10 o'clock in the morning. I'd slept, because it was an all-night trip. Right. And I went in. They did a biopsy, which was a little bit scary. And then the next day, the doctors came in. There was like 3 or 4 of them, and they're all in there, They go, we know the source of your problem. And I go, okay. And they go, you have a stage 3 germ cell testicular in origin. And it was like, wait a minute, no. No. And they go, what? I go, I have that cancer? And they go, you have testicular cancer. It's like, no, it's not going to work. No, it's not going to work. And they go, no. If you had to choose a cancer, this is a good one. And I go, who choose a cancer? Come on. And they go, no, you need to take this thing seriously. And it's like, no, I don't. No, I don't. Because all the memories of my mom came flooding back. And it was like, when she was going through her cancer, it was like, oh, this chemotherapy, I've finally found a way to lose all this weight. And, oh, this chemotherapy is great. I don't have any desire to smoke. And I've always hated my hair. These wigs are so much easier. I go, that's who I want to be. I want to be her. And so people got it pretty quick. My nurse treated me like an 8-year-old, decorated my chemo bags, SpongeBob and Scooby-Doo Band-Aids, It was, no one was allowed in my room unless it made me laugh. And it was all because of the example set by my mom. So looking at, so much of it, and I remember quote after quote after quote, Eric Heiden said after his Olympics, it's not the events in your life that define you, it's how you deal with them. And I truly believe that. I've seen so many warrior champions, bald ladies in supermarkets. It's like, yeah, that's strong, that's brave, that's tough. Not many people, would say, oh, I don't know, I would never do that. But it's like, yeah, you're telling the world everything's possible. And so that's kind of become my job lately, as being kind of the morale officer of, you know, this is all right. It's okay. No matter what it is, it's going to be okay.